Oh yes, just loving it being at the field days special here on Rex Rural Exchange, and a very good friend of the show. And I don't know if I always give him his official title actually, Jamie Blennerhassett, but Doctor. I'm sorry, have I not been calling you Doctor? Sorry,
no,
Doctor?
I think you usually do. Yeah,
Loe, that problem you've got, that little man's problem, I don't think Jamie's the man to sort it.
No,
we might
one of those doctors.
we might need to find another tent for that. Okay, well we're here, and we can see you see the big sign up here behind me. We're here with the Ballance Agri-Nutrients team together, creating the best soil and feed on earth. That's what it's all about. Fantastic to be at field days, and obviously a huge part of the calendar for you guys.
Absolutely, yeah. We get very excited to get out here and have a chance to really interact with all of our shareholders, get them in an environment and hear, what's going on down on the farm, and they can come in and tell us what they're wanting to get from us, and we can hear that and start enacting that in terms of our plan for the year going forward.
How big a crew have you got here?
Oh, I don't know exactly, but it's probably well over 70.
Yeah.
So not everyone's here every day, but it's a massive effort and a big investment of time and money, obviously. So.
Okay, let's talk about on my notes down here. I've got the MitAgator Farm Environmental Management software. Let's just sort of get into a bit of nitty gritty, and I might have to get my mate Loe to help me out here. And if he doesn't, I've got the Carter's Tyres tyre checker just to keep him in tow throughout this. So, but the MitAgator, so we've got it on the stand over here behind us. Talk us through this.
Yeah, so MitAgator is a revolutionary new software tool that we've just launched to the market. So it's aimed at essentially providing, I guess, the next level in environmental management for farmers. So we've been working on it for a long time, and we're really excited to be rolling it out finally after many years of hard work in the background.
Okay.
So I was just going to say, talk us through it. How will it, as a farmer, how will it help me?
Right, okay, so I guess a lot of people know about Overseer as a tool, and so that's essentially the foundation of how you measure your nitrogen and phosphorus losses. Now, the key thing that MitAgator does is it not only does nitrogen and phosphorus, it also does sediment and E. coli losses. So in a lot of cases, sediment and E. coli are actually the main, worry when it comes to water quality. So it looks at those losses, which is great, but it also uses spatial tools based on GIS software.
So after I've used Overseer, I get the MitAgator, and that's the next step on.
No, it's exactly that. So it is the next step on. So it takes that Overseer file, and then we use this GIS software tool to essentially go and map your farm, and we then look for critical source areas called hotspots. So it is an 80-20 rule, whereby 80% of your losses will come from 20% of your area. So if you can focus on those 20%, then you're going to get much greater outcomes in terms of from your mitigation and reduction of losses. So it not only identifies those areas, but it takes the next step in recommending the mitigations.
And in layman's terms, that's, in other words, your valleys, your waterways, etc., your swamps, etc., isn't it?
Yep, absolutely. So it'll quite often be at the head of a gully. You might have a steep little area whereby all of the runoff actually, or the majority of the runoff will come from. So you're going to get sediment come off there, you're going to get nutrients run off there, and E. coli from fecal matter, essentially. So if you target them and you put your mitigations in place around those areas, you're going to have your biggest impact in reducing those losses.
For our urban listeners listening to this is just an example of how far down the track farmers come, isn't it? Because we hear the other week in horticulture what they're doing, growing vegetables with their sediment traps, etc. This is one step. This is measuring everything. So in the future, everything's going to get cleaner and greener, isn't it?
Yep, absolutely. Look, a lot of work's already going on. We're already, the farming community have been working this space for the last 10 years in a quite intensive way, but we just need to keep on making more and more steps, and I guess we see MitAgator as an awesome tool for helping, one, visualise where those areas are so that farmers can engage from it. It's just not a spreadsheet they're working to, so they're working to something, but it is about how it recommends the tools, it recommends the outputs that are going to allow us to really make a difference and get the environment that we ultimately all want to live in.
Okay, so I'm talking for the urban dweller here who's sitting there going, okay, all very well, got Overseer, MitAgator, obviously amazing programs and tools to address issues. What's the buy-in like from farmers to date and going forward?
It's been awesome. So we only just launched it at a ceremony in Te Papa last Thursday. Demand is probably going to be something that we're going to need to manage expectation around. So it is an expert tool at this stage, so it needs to be delivered via our farm sustainability services team. So it requires a visit from them. But with time, we are going to hope to allow farmers to actually do it themselves via online, login. So we will get there. It's not that way yet, but at the moment, I would be fair to say demand outstrips our ability to supply. But we're going to manage it pretty closely and make sure we deliver as many as possible.
What would be the barriers to farmer XYZ deciding that they got issues and they want to go down this path?
The key one is you have to have an accurate farm map, but outside of that, there really isn't any, so everything else can be managed. So they just have to make sure that they have a good, accurate farm map, and from that, the rest can be done via the software tool and our experts on the ground.
It would be fair to say it's all part of telling our story for us to sell our produce, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah. So, we need to have a point of differentiation. We're no longer the cheapest producers in the marketplace worldwide. We're never going to hold that title again. So we have to be able to go to market with something that's different. Food quality will be matched, but environmental quality, not many other countries in the world will be able to match us on that if we do it right.
So is that our big premium? That's where we're gonna smash the premium out of the park with the environmental upside.
Well, I went and listened to a talk last night. Professor David Hughes, he's one of the leading world's experts, and he said it's not a premium, but you'll be marked down if you don't have it. So this is our right to actually go to market rather than our right to get a premium as such. So we have to have it. There's no alternative. And the urban community are demanding it. So we all want to make sure that we live in a community whereby we all have the same values and we have water quality that we can all be proud of.
Is this something you're proud of on your property, Loe?
I think it's come that far. Remember when we used to get a truckload of fertiliser and we'd spread it, and that was all we did. Since we've been talking precision, like maximising the value you're putting onto your property and only putting on what you need. That's where we're at, isn't it? And it's just the way of the future. And as we go on, more farmers, as Jamie just said, if you're not doing it, you'll be left behind.
Yeah, absolutely. It's progress and we're heading the right direction.
Dr Jamie Blennerhassett, great to have in the show as always. Thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you very much. It's been great.
Right, there he is. He's the innovation leader for the great team here at Ballance Agri-Nutrients, and this is the Field Day special on Rex Rural Exchange.
Radio Live Rural Exchange.